Welcome to the show, everybody.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen Joe.
And I'm Cameron Word.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes.
We are talking about traveling today, and we are going to Patagonia. If you go to Patagonia, I feel like it's one of those trips that is a trip of a lifetime.
Yes. So this trip of a lifetime is a trip that you really enjoyed, and it's unforgettable.
Yeah,
You'll
unforgettable.
always remember it.
And almost also that you may not go again.
Right. There is that feeling of it was one and done.
One and done. One and done. I like that.
Yeah.
One and done. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. You do it once and never again.
You have talked about a couple of trips of a lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
Going to Africa,
For sure.
for example.
Yeah. Going to Tibet.
Tibet.
Yeah. Nepal, Tibet.
Yeah.
That was of a life. Mongolia. Yeah. Although now Mongolia is definitely more accessible. I went like over 20 years ago. And these days, I would like to go again because they have a lot of these, they've improved their facilities and they're more tourist friendly.
Yeah.
It's great, Cam.
Yeah.
It's
Might have to go.
Stay in a yurt.
Get it? Yeah. Stay in one of their traditional tents, their yurts.
Yes.
That would be, I just want to see like the sky that
Cameron,
goes on forever.
You love plants, you love nature. You would really love that place. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
It'll go on my bucket list for sure. But
Okay.
today we're talking about Patagonia.
Okay, so they're prepared to leave Patagonia. It is our last travel dialogue. So, and they're already talking about maybe, the next place they want to visit. So, something of a lifetime is an expression, one of our expressions. How about count on someone or something?
You're relying on them. You're expecting they will do something. You're trusting them.
Oh, okay. And if you let your imagination run wild, this is a great expression.
Yeah. It means you're going to think about every crazy idea you could possibly have. You're not going to let being realistic be a limit.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to have a crazy imagination for a little bit.
Very good. Let's go ahead and listen to our travel dialogue.
After seeing Patagonia, I'm less enthusiastic to go back to Buenos Aires.
I know. But once we get off this bus, you'll be ready for a cold drink and a soft bed.
I know we can count on a great steak in Buenos Aires.
This was definitely the trip of a lifetime.
Well, there's still a lot to see on this planet. Let your imagination run wild.
There's this very tall mountain in Nepal called Everest. What do you think?
Okay, it's time for our power dialogue. We're on page 140. Patagonia, the trip of a lifetime. So Madison says, after seeing Patagonia, I'm less enthusiastic to go back to Buenos Aires. Okay, so to be enthusiastic means what?
This means to have a lot of energy or motivation to do something.
Yeah.
That exciting feeling of, yes, I cannot wait to do this.
That's right. So if you're very enthusiastic about going on a trip or, studying more in grad school, it just means that you're really motivated and excited.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be something fun. You could be very enthusiastic at work.
Oh, sure.
Come on, boss. I need an extra project.
Yeah.
Like, if we have anything need to be done, let me know. I'm your guy.
Oh my gosh.
I've never said those words in my life.
That's not Cameron.
That's not me.
But Cameron, we are very enthusiastic about our shows here at EBS.
It is true.
That is true, right?
An office job is hard to be enthusiastic about.
Yeah.
Though some people are.
Yeah.
But both of our shows here at EBS are.
That's right.
very easy
Absolutely.
to be
We are all
enthusiastic
in.
about.
We are all in. Okay. Paul says, I know, but once we get off this bus, you'll be ready for a cold drink and a soft bed. Okay. Our power pattern is once we. And you may think, why is this a pattern? Once we do this, it's a bit of a condition, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tell us, how do we use this?
So it is a condition, but it is something that will happen. When this time comes, whenever something happens to us, this next thing will happen. When A, then B.
Okay, so once we get off this bus, B is we're going to have a cold drink and a soft bed. So once we finish this, we can go on to that.
Yeah. But that is the condition.
That is the condition.
We have to finish first, and then this will happen.
This is a power pattern that a lot of moms use on their children.
For example?
Yeah. It's like, okay, well, once you finish your, vegetables, then you can have some, you can watch a movie or, have some screen time.
Once you clean your room.
Once you clean your room.
Once you do your homework.
Yes.
Then you can get on the computer.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what does Madison say?
I know we can count on a great steak in Buenos Aires.
Now, if you can count on a great steak, usually we have this expression and we use it with people. Oh, I can count on him. I can count on Cameron, right? They're dependable. But if you can count on food, what does this mean?
Yeah, so this expression often means to rely on, to trust.
Yeah.
But here, it's saying that there definitely will be something. Saying here, you can count on a great steak. You're saying Buenos Aires always has great steaks.
Yeah. They're completely dependable when it comes to steaks.
You do not have to worry.
Yeah.
Any steak you order is going to be great.
That's right. So it's kind of like you go to a certain area, we can count on their restaurants or count on their, whatever it is, their specialty means like we can expect good quality yummy food.
Yes. So here, count on is showing a good example where it isn't saying you're relying on someone to do something, to be responsible.
Yeah.
You can also say, you can always count on him to be late.
Right? Yes.
Being late is irresponsible.
Right.
It's not a good thing. But here, you're saying, I 100% know he's going to be late.
So you can use this to describe a negative characteristics of a person.
Yes.
Yeah, you can count on him to flake out or basically be irresponsible, not show up. Right?
Yeah.
Count on him to be late?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're just saying it is expected. It is probably most likely what's going to happen.
Interesting. In this context, however, you can count on a great steak means Buenos Aires is famous for their steaks.
Yep.
And Paul says this was definitely the trip of a lifetime. So we don't always have to use trip. We can use some other word of a lifetime.
Yes.
Like what?
So you could have the, experience of a lifetime.
Yeah. I would say, though, that most often we do use a trip of a lifetime.
I agree.
Yeah.
It does feel very much experience related in a big way.
Yeah.
I know in Korea you can say like 인생의 뭐뭐뭐.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which can be used for sometimes smaller things.
Right.
But I wouldn't say the pizza of a lifetime, the burger of a lifetime.
Right.
I don't know.
No, it doesn't work. And it has to be kind of big.
Right.
It has to be a big trip.
Yeah.
It's not a small trip, too. Yeah. But it could be a small trip, but maybe you went with your best friends.
Yes.
Yeah, it could be the trip of a lifetime.
It could be the job of a lifetime.
Oh, the best job ever.
Yeah, the best job you ever got.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe the project of a lifetime.
Okay.
Some project you did for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I would say the most common one is trip of a lifetime. What does Madison say?
Well, there's still a lot to see on this planet. Let your imagination run wild.
So let's talk about this expression. To let your imagination run wild. If something runs wild, what is it doing?
It's like a Mustang. A wild horse.
A wild Mustang.
On the plains of South Dakota. No fences in sight. Just running free.
Yeah.
Wherever the wind carries it.
That's right.
That's the image. So if you let your imagination run wild, you're saying there are no barriers. There are no limits to your imagination.
Yeah.
Just think whatever you want to think.
Right. There's like no limit.
No.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, of course, sometimes children run wild, like they do. Yeah, they're all over the place, right? But imagination run wild means there's no limit to your imagination. And Paul says,
there's this very tall mountain in Nepal called Everest. What do you think?
Okay, so Paul is hinting. How about Mount Everest for our next trip?
Honestly, that's that's letting your imagination run wild.
Oh gosh,
that's not an easy trip.
Oh no way! I mean, I looked at it from afar. That was good enough for me. Okay, let's listen to that dialogue one more time.
After seeing Patagonia, I'm less enthusiastic to go back to Buenos Aires.
I know, but once we get off this bus, you'll be ready for a cold drink and a soft bed.
I know we can count on a great steak in Buenos Aires.
This was definitely the trip of a lifetime.
Well, there's still a lot to see on this planet. Let your imagination run wild.
There's this very tall mountain in Nepal called Everest. What do you think?
It's time for Power Note. We're on pages 142 and 43. Let's look at some more examples of these expressions. If you count on someone or something, it means that you can rely on them, you can trust them, or you can be sure that you'll get something.
Yes.
Okay? How did you miss your flight?
I counted on the airport bus to arrive on time, but it was delayed.
Yeah.
So you were trusting the bus.
Right.
And it betrayed you.
Oh my gosh.
It came late.
And usually airport buses are pretty much on time.
Yeah. I would say
Usually. But it was late. Okay. I always count on my morning coffee to wake me up. So all of these expressions are basically objects. Count on something.
Yeah. Yeah. Relying on someone.
That's right. I always count on my morning coffee. And you, Cameron?
Definitely.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I always count on my alarm to go off.
Oh.
You trust that your alarm will go off.
Yeah, that is true.
Sometimes something happens. It runs out of batteries.
Yeah.
The electricity goes off.
True.
And then you're in a lot of trouble because your alarm doesn't go off in the morning.
Right.
Yeah.
Or, that's right. It's so true. So, if, these things that is going to happen, that's when you count on them.
Yes.
Right. But if they don't happen, then you're in trouble.
That's so true.
You're in trouble.
I count on my phone to get me where I need to go, like maps.
Yes, of course.
I can't go anywhere.
GPS?
I've lived in Seoul for 9 years.
I know.
I can't get anywhere without my phone.
God. All of us count on our phones. We can't do anything without it anymore.
Yep.
Okay. Something of a lifetime means very unique, extremely special, a real, uncommon experience. Winning the lottery was the opportunity of a lifetime for Jenna.
Yes, let's hope she handles the money responsibly.
Okay, yeah, that is definitely an opportunity of a lifetime. But I would say not just with winning the lottery, but maybe getting your first acting job or, getting a promotion or whatever.
Yeah.
It could be an opportunity of a lifetime.
And it's not always about, for example, with a job, getting a lot of money.
Yeah.
But if we go to the actor example,
right?
Some people want to work with one director.
Yes.
This is my favorite director.
Yeah.
And I want to work with them.
That's right. Steven Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg.
Quentin Tarantino.
Wes Anderson. What's his
Wes
name?
Anderson, yeah.
Those are all directors that...
Christopher Nolan, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The actor, actress, if they hear anything, they just, yes, I will definitely work with that director.
That's right. It's an opportunity of a lifetime. Okay. Their trip to New Zealand was the vacation of a lifetime. Similar to trip of a lifetime, but it could be a vacation of a lifetime too.
I want to go to New Zealand.
Me too.
I want to go find Frodo.
Me too.
You know,
well, I don't know about Frodo.
I would just go have a Lord of the Rings themed vacation.
Well, that's because that's where Lord of the Rings was filmed.
Yeah.
The beauty, it's astonishing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Americans were like, where is this place?
Yeah.
It was a real place. That was New Zealand.
It was New Zealand.
Yeah.
Full of hobbits and I hear sheep.
Yeah.
I'd like to go meet the sheep of New Zealand.
I have to agree with you. I agree. Okay, so vacation of a lifetime, trip of a lifetime. Think about one trip that was just so special that you can never forget it.
Yes.
Okay. Let your imagination run wild. It means think freely. Be creative. There are no limits. How did you get so good at painting?
My art teacher in high school encouraged us to let our imaginations run wild.
Yeah. Our teacher says, hey, there are no rules. You do whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
That's right. While designing his dream home, Ethan let his imagination run wild. So, how could you let your imagination run wild when building a house?
I mean, let's say you put a lot of different architectural designs in there.
Yeah.
It's like a hanok, but then also it has like French castle design, and it's also modern.
Yeah.
But there's also a brutalist, and there's like I don't know, like you just mix all of these crazy things together.
I saw in an Architectural Digest or somewhere, and it was featuring this home, and it was kind of like Hobbit. The Middle Earth.
Okay.
The houses were kind of like underground and it was all slopes and it was so cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So, it was, and like you go in and then there's like a house and it's just so, and the playground is not flat. It's slope on a hill, up and down, up and down. It's so incredible. So in that case, their imagination ran wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
And design sometimes is good. Sometimes it's not. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes the basics, the original, that's looks better.
If it's too wild, it could be inconvenient. Once it's a condition. So once we get to the station, we have to hurry to catch our bus.
Once we have enough money saved, we should buy a house.
Yes, isn't that what we all say?
When will the time come?
When will it come?
When?
All right, power vocab. The word is enthusiastic. Please check out the definition on page 144. Please download the EBS Pandi app and also visit what?
Audio 학당.
Very good.
Yeah.
And pay a very small fee, and you have access to so much information. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.